Hello guys, this is Spirit Studies. I wanted to talk to you today about the Hara Line. Spirit Studies is a channel where I dive into spiritual topics that I really find fascinating and interesting and could be useful for everyday life. One thing to note first about the Hara Line is it's almost like your chi. It's your life force energy. It's a line of energy that runs midline through our body and extends above and below our body. It is also a way to connect down to the earth. It coincides with the spinal dynamic of the physical body, which includes our central nervous system, which include our sympathetic and parasympathetic and spine vertebrae. It also lies along the main conduit of energy that our seven major chakras feed into, which goes along with that life force energy. It's all of this. It's also something used in martial arts. I'm a big martial arts guy, mostly boxing and jiu-jitsu, but I've never heard of this. Obviously, I'm not into the more spiritual ones. It also connects us, like I said, with Mother Gaia and the sky. It's also a tool, and the reason that I want to talk about it and why it's so helpful in my life is because it helps us in the state of being a physical body. It helps us align to who we are as people. It's a reference point for the being. We can use it when we meditate, when we're doing energy healing work. Just being in our body is generally really good. You can use it throughout the day, anything, just tapping into that Hara line. Where you place your attention is where you place your energy. So when you're thinking about this, even as you're watching this video, you're actually placing your attention on it, which is placing your energy. There's something to that where when we just think about something, we can actually start to utilize it. It's like a golden rod. I think it would be a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch around. It's really whatever you believe it is. Whatever you connect with is perfect. A lot of people say a golden rod, obviously Hara. It just kind of makes sense for a Hara line to be gold. It's really good to do something before meditation, like I said. On to where more of the physiological points to the Hara line. So there's the lower Tandian, which is a 2-finger width between the perineum and the navel. If you can't find your perineum or your navel, Joe Dispenza has an exercise where you actually push spinal fluid into the pineal gland. He talks about the perineum to start. That's where your root chakra is. Find that. It's also between the navel, so the bottom of your belly button. You can figure it out. It's not that hard. And it's really small. Your root chakra is actually about the size of a quarter, just next to, in front of, the end of your spinal column. It has also been called the soul seat, which also aligns with what I said about it being chi, life force energy. There's also the breastbone with the middle Tandian, and that deals with integration of earthly and spiritual energies. And soul seat, like I said, it's right here. So perineum, right here, the middle Tandian. And then 3 feet above our head is the upper Tandian. It's also the edge of the auric field and is a spiritual connection. It's a connection to the unified field. Again, let's go over lower Tandian, 2 inches from the navel and perineum. Location below belly button, a few inches. Size of a gumball. It's dense, hot. Lying grounds down between legs into the earth. It affects grounding, so anxiety, brain fog, stuff like that. The middle Tandian is below the collarbone at the top of the sternum. So about right here. More diffuse and larger in size, affects integration. The upper Tandian is located 2 or 3 feet above crown, edge of the auric field, like I said. It clicks in, it affects spiritual connection, so your connection to the unified field, to source, to God, whatever you want to call it. With that, we can visualize the Hara line as a 1/2 inch white line with 3 points on it. You can place your finger on the points and just imagine these lines going straight. They might move in and out, they might be in a different spot. Whatever you feel, just focus on bringing them in and being straight. So you want to kind of sit in the pelvis, make sure your shoulders are back a little bit, maintain a good posture. Try to tuck that chin back. A grounding exercise is hold our lower Tandian, where our perineum and navel is, and we kind of hold our hands here and we just kind of imagine that ball of energy. So we're going to be stood up. Focus on that for 3 to 5 minutes. What I want you to do is slightly rock forward when you breathe in, and then as you exhale, rock back. You do that for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then you're going to do the same thing you're doing, focusing hands on the navel, and do it side to side. So breathe in, move to the side, breathe out, back to center. Just to kind of finalize everything, you can do this practice at a doctor's office, anywhere you can stand. I mean, it's going to be a little bit weird. You can do micro movements. Anywhere you can fit this into your daily life is perfect. It doesn't need to be that long. The big part about it is where you put your attention is where you place your energy. So if you're not feeling grounded, place it on the lower. If you're feeling a little wish-washy spiritual-wise, put it on the upper. In the middle, it's integration, so heart center, just focus on heart-centered emotions. It's a core power source that resides between the auric field of the human body. It is housed inside the Tan Tien, existing on the level of intentionality. The Hara is also known as the core star connection. Hopefully that should be enough information for you guys.